Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present one book of mine called the Mughal Biography book. So let's get to the next page and let's continue. This is the table of contents. First we're going to be going with introduction, and then page number 3 is Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jhangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, and we'll have the conclusion and all about the author. So first let's get to the introduction. Today we are going to learn about the history of India. There are a total of 17 Mughal rulers, the Mughal Emperors from the early 16th century to the mid-19th century. The Mughals built and ruled the Mughal Empire on the Indian subcontinent, mainly corresponding to the modern countries of India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. The Mughal Empire was an early modern empire in South Asia. For some two centuries, the empire stretched from the outer fringes of the Indus Basin in the west to the northern Afghanistan in the northwest and Kashmir in the north, to the highlands of present-day Assam and Bangladesh in the east, and the uplands of Deccan Plateau in South India. At its greatest extent, it was one of the largest empires in the history of South Asia. The Mughal Empire is conventionally said to have been founded in 1526 by Babur, a warrior chieftain from what today is Uzbekistan, who employed aid from the neighboring Safavid and Ottoman Empire to defeat the Sultan of Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi, in the First Battle of Panipat, and to sweep down the plains of Upper India. The Mughal imperial structure, however, is sometimes dated to 1600. To the ruler of Babur's grandson Akbar, this imperial structure lasted until 1720, until shortly after the death of the last major emperor Aurangzeb, during whose reign the empire also achieved its maximum geographical extent. The empire subsequently fragmented, reduced to the region in around Old Delhi by the time the British East India Company came to rule most of India. The empire was formally dissolved by the British Raj after the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Although the Mughal Empire was created and sustained by military warfare, it did not vigorously suppress the cultures and people it came to rule, but rather equalized and plated them through new administrative practices and diverse ruling elites, leading to more efficient, centralized, and standardized rule. The relative peace maintained by the empire during much of the 17th century was a factor in India's economic expansion. The main base of empire's collective wealth was agriculture taxes, instituted by the third Mughal emperor Akbar. Let me remove that. Mughal India was also the world leader in manufacturing, producing about 25% of the world's industrial output up until the 18th century. So the Mughal India was one of the biggest leader in manufacturing and producing about already 25% of the worldwide manufacturing industrial output until the 18th, where the Mughals ended their Raj. What is this one? Burgeoning European presence in the Indian Ocean and its increasing demand for Indian raw and finished products created still greater wealth in Mughal courts. There were more conspicuous conceptions among the Mughal elite, resulting in greater patronage of painting, literary forms, textiles, and architecture, especially during the reign of Shah Jahan. Among the Mughal UNESCO World Heritage Site in South Asia are Agra Fort, Fatehpur Sikri, Red Fort, Humayun's tomb, Lahore Fort, and the Taj Mahal, which is described as the jewel of Muslim art in India. The word Muslim is actually a religion, okay, and one of the universally admired masterpieces of the world's heritage. We will learn about them in this book. Did you know that India has one of the precious seven wonders of the world, which is the Taj Mahal? It was constructed by the Shah Jahan king, who constructed it for his wife as for their love. Babur. Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad Babur was the first Mughal ruler and the founder of the Mughal Empire. He was born on 14th February 1483 and he started ruling from 14th February 1483 to 26 December 1530. That means he ruled for about 47 years. He was a Chagatai Turk, descended of King Timur on his father's side and Chengiz Khan on his mother's side. In his life, he was succeeded by his son Humayun. He had a total of 7 sons. Where did Babur enter India from? Babur entered India for the first time through Punjab. He was the founder of the Mughal Dynasty. Babur was born in Andijan in the Fergana Valley in modern Uzbekistan, taking the throne. In 1497, the Emir of Fergana died suddenly and 11-year-old Babur ascended his father's throne. His seat was anything but secure, however, with numerous uncles and cousins plotting to replace him. Evidently aware that a good offense is the best defense, the young Emir set out to expand his holidays. By 1497, he had conquered the famous Silk Road oasis city of Samarkand. While he was engaged, however, his uncles and other nobles rose in rebellion back in Andijan. When Babur turned to defend his base, he once again lost control of Samarkand. The determined young Emir had regained both cities by 1501, but Uzbek ruler Shaybani Khan challenged him over Samarkand and dealt Babur's forces a crushing defeat. This marked the end of Babur's rule in what is now Uzbekistan. How did Babur die? It is also believed that Babur swam through every major river in India, sometimes even against the current. So it's generally believed that he didn't die a natural death, rather was killed. It has been said that he was poisoned by mother of Ibrahim Lodi, whom he defeated in First Battle of Panipat. He died at Agra, Mughal Empire. Legacy. Babur lived a difficult life, always battling to make a place for himself. In the end, however, he planted the seed for one of the world's great empires. Babur was a devotee of poetry and gardens. His descendants would raise all kinds of arts to their apogee during their long region. The Mughal Empire lasted until 1868, at which point it finally fell to the colonial British Raj. Now you have a lot of information about Babur. Now you can find out about India's second ruler and Babur's son, Humayun. Akbar. Akbar Abdul Fattah Jalal Uddin Muhammad Akbar was the third ruler of the Mughal dynasty. He is known as the greatest ruler of the Mughal Empire. He was the son of Humayun. He had 5 sons: Jhangir, the next king, Murad Mirza, Daniel Mirza, Hussain, and Hassan. Jahangir was the next leader of the Mughal Empire. Akbar ruled from 1556 to 1605. An interesting fact is that Akbar became king at the age of 13. Since he was only a teenager, he had a tutor named Bairam Khan. Akbar's new religion. Akbar made his new religion. Its name is Deen-e-Ilahi. At about years 1662 and 1665, he made this religion from Abrahamic and Dharmic influenced syncretism. This religion right now is not very popular. Akbar's constructions. Akbar's work include Babri Masjid, Jama Masjid, Panipat Mosque, and Kabuli Bagh Mosque. The constructions of Agra Fort was started around 1565, when the initial structures were built by the Mughal Emperor of Akbar, and subsequently taken over by his grandson Shah Jahan, who added the most marble creations to the fort. How did Akbar die? Death on October 3rd October 1605. Akbar fell ill with an attack of dysentery, from which he never recovered. 12 days after his 63rd year, he died on 27th October 1605. After which his body was buried at a mausoleum in Sikandra, Agra, Akbar's tomb. Jahangir. Nur-ud-Din Muhammad Salim Jahangir, who was the son of Akbar and the fourth emperor of the Mughal Empire, he had four sons and two girls, Shah Jahan, Khusra Mirza, Shahryar Mirza, and Parviz. Oh, it's just getting Shahryar Parviz Mirza. Bahar Banu Begum. Also, he had 20 wives. His last wife was Saliha Banu Begum Nur Jahan. The others were Shah Begum, Jagad Gosain, Shahib Jamal, Malika Jahan Begum, Nur Unnisa Salih, which is also known as Saliha Banu Begum, Khas Mahel Begum, Koka Kumari Begum, and Nidar Begum, and etc. He ruled over India for a period of 22 years from 1605 to 1627 and was well known for his love for fine arts. As the eldest surviving son of Mughal Emperor Akbar the Great, he was trained for succession from a young boy by his father. He was born on August 31st, 1569. Jahangir's monuments. Jahangir made the Shalimar Bagh in Srinagar in the year of 1619 for his wife. Also, Akbar's tomb was finished by Jahangir. Jahangir's wife Noor Jahan made tomb of Itamad-ud-Dawla at Agra. Death. Jahangir died at the age of 58 at Kashmir, November